Okay, this is a bit of an announcement, I suppose, for all the people who are involved in Google and Microsoft who really imagine that they can just get away with hijacking control of people's computers and all their settings and whatever it is, and just rule people's lives. They really think that they can actually rule people's lives and rule the world sat behind computer screens. First thing that's going to happen is going to be there's going to be a mass exodus from Microsoft to Linux. People who have never had any interest in computing are now beginning to research Linux so that they can get away from Microsoft. And Microsoft is thinking, no, no, we've got control of everyone. Everyone will always use us. No, you're losing Microsoft and you don't even know it. You're going to end up in a dark room by yourselves and thinking, where are all our users? And you will not realize that it was your blind, stupid arrogance that got rid of them all. And the party is over. I'm telling you right now, the party is over for Microsoft. Microsoft has abused its privilege, and Google have abused their privilege for so long, and the gravy train's done. They have betrayed every single living human being that they could possibly hope to betray, just for their own interests. I and every single other person who has used their products has watched their products go from helpful and useful to controlling, invasive scum. When I go to use my computer, I don't feel that it's under my control anymore. I feel robbed from, I feel stolen from, I feel invaded, I feel betrayed, I feel lied to, I feel violated. And that's Microsoft and that's Google. Microsoft and Google are flat scum. That is the opinion of the entire world of Microsoft and Google. Not just because they're big businesses, but because of the way they behave. And it's all going to end. People right now, I'm seeing more and more of it. People who have the kind of people you would never even consider are even potentially interested in computing are getting so utterly hacked off with Microsoft and Google just behaving as though they can do anything they want with someone's computer and their computing experience. They think that it's just going to go on forever. And people are getting so annoyed with this rude perspective that Microsoft and Google have, that they're beginning to research computing for themselves so that they understand what their options are. And Microsoft have caused this problem. I guarantee you this is going to happen. If it doesn't even get worse, with people somehow attacking Microsoft or Google in the physical world. Because you can't behave this way towards people and just pretend you can get away with it merely because you're hiding behind the internet. And that's what Microsoft is doing. They didn't used to. They were a business like any other. But now they've begun to hide behind the internet, thinking that they are unassailable and untouchable, and they've just started, I want to say the F word, but messing with people's lives. People set up their own computer the way that they want it to be, and Microsoft comes along and says, no, you'll have it how we want you to have it. You can't do that to people. I'm not kidding. I'm sure that eventually someone is going to lose their mind and they're going to do something silly regarding one of those companies. Because you can't continue to behave that way towards the entirety of humanity, thinking you can just get away with it. The right thing to do is back off now. That's what Microsoft and Google should do right now. Back off. But they won't. They won't. They will not back off until they absolutely lose their customer base and people start fighting back. There are currently people who are producing third-party software, little things that you can use to undo all of the nonsense that Microsoft tried to stuff into Windows all the time. And the same with Google. All the extensions for Google are to undo the rubbish that you find when you're using Google. I do not use Chrome unless I absolutely have to. They should be encouraging people to use Google Chrome, but no, they're just chasing them away by trying to over-control what they do. People don't want that, and these morons are just carrying on and on and on and on. It's like, I don't know how what a good analogy is. It's like a government who continue doing the same crap to their citizens again and again and again, and eventually something very, very, very serious happens, and they say, oh, what happened? And they caused it. And that's what Microsoft and Google are doing. They are too powerful and too big and too big-headed, and people are at best going to just leave in their droves. At worst, I'm telling you, one day someone will do something stupid to show these people what they're doing, because computing is for everybody. Google don't control computing, Microsoft don't control computing, they just act like they do. And it's only people's trust in them that's allowed them to do it. And they've looked at this, they've said, oh, people trust us, and then they've said, okay, we'll abuse it. And that's it. The decision was made, and what we have now is the result. They have abandoned any notion of conscience. And that's that. That's why you go to your computer and every time it's being messed with by Microsoft, because they think, who cares what the user says? We can do what we want. And that attitude always ends up with someone suffering repercussions. You have to show people respect. If you trample them, you will get some form of reprisal. And at best, like I say, people will just leave your software. They'll leave your business, they'll leave your company. Microsoft think they have a captive market because most people don't understand computing, but I guarantee you in the next 5 to 10 years there will be such an upswing in people learning how to use computers effectively, and such a mass migration away from micro crap to Linux, as Microsoft will just, they'll be sitting there wondering, oh, what happened to our market share? Well, you abused your customers. You abused their trust. You abused their privacy. Well, what did you expect? And the people who in that company, who were the guys who said, hey, guys, let's abuse the customer. We can get away with it. Those guys will just move on to some other business, and it'll just be another story about how some business went rotten. And this is the result. This is why you have to have an understanding of some sort of morals, some sort of etiquette. You don't treat people as if you can just trample them. It doesn't work. Oh sure, you've got lots of business at the moment, but your business will eventually die because you tried to scam the customer. Well done, Microsoft. Bill Gates sitting there, one of the richest guys in the world. Oh, look how powerful I am. Oh. Sorry, bro. You break the rules and you suffer the consequences. You broke the rules of trust. You had people's trust in your hands, and you just smashed it to pieces. You abused it. The result is people are just going to leave. They're going to. I'm one of them. I never wanted to become a computer expert, but I'm going to become a computer expert to get away from Microsoft. Imagine that. You are forcing people to literally take on academic study in a field to get away from you. That's how bad your business is. Imagine that. That's the same as a supermarket service being so bad that someone would literally rather drive 4 or 5 hours to shop somewhere else if they had to, rather than going to your store. That's how bad Microsoft is, and they think they're wonderful. Oh yes, we've got this new update this and the new version this. Oh, it's so wonderful. Oh, it's not wonderful. It's rubbish. It's despicable crap because you guys think that you're the best thing in the world. But there are people in Microsoft and people in Google working there who know that it is rotten to the core. Both businesses are rotten to the core. Rotten to the core. And I bet you those people hate working there because they realise how rotten those businesses are. Rotten, ruined. This is just the truth. There is not one single person I could speak to anywhere ever at the moment who would say to me, well, you know what, I really like Microsoft Windows. I like the way that all my settings are ruined every so often. I like the way that it feels that my computer's been hijacked all the time. I like the way that Microsoft seems to try to control me through my computer. I like the way it betrays my trust. You guys must be out of your minds. The same with Google. Search engines don't work the way they used to. It's all manufactured results. It's nonsense. I stay away from Google. I don't use Chrome unless I absolutely have to use it. I use the Tor browser, the Onion router. And even that's okay. It's much better than Chrome. Chrome's just sitting there. It's even when you go into settings, it's like you and Chrome or something. You and Google. There is no you. There is no me and Google. You're just a little business somewhere that has nothing to do with anything, and you presume that you're a big deal. No, Google, you're not. You're a silly little deal. An irritant. Be modest. Be humble. Shut your face and start actually respecting your customers, the users. Don't use them and manipulate them. But this is going to fall on deaf ears. And the only way of fixing the problem is for each and every individual person to start to focus on learning computing deeply so that the power that Microsoft and Google have currently evaporates. And they'll be going, oh, what do we do? Because their business model is based upon customer and user ignorance. But when people start getting to the point, little old ladies, little old guys, people who don't really want to learn computing are going to learn computing to get away from Microsoft. And at that point, Microsoft will die. It will starve because it will have no more people to leech off of. And then it'll be done. And Bill Gates will be sitting there going, oh, but I was one of the most powerful rich people in the world. And he won't be anymore because he broke the rules. Show people respect. You could probably keep your position. But you didn't, did you? What can I say? Bill Gates and whoever runs Google, you guys are finished.